All right, yogis, good morning to you. Please come in, settle in, find yourself in a comfortable seat with 2 blocks handy or something equivalent to those 2 blocks. So, good morning to you. So as you are coming in, please just begin to find yourself settled onto your mat as much as possible, finding yourself with those 2 blocks or 2 block substitutes, and we will begin in a few minutes. So good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Chris. This is Lisa here. So a little different today. Today we're going to be doing a short 30-minute flow. It will start with a little bit of yin-like quality, and we will then incorporate some movement where we can explore your degree of movement in that. And I want you to think of a pendulum. And so as we get started and we welcome each of ourselves and each other here, I want you to just think about a pendulum. Perhaps you have a pendulum, something in your home that reminds you of this oscillation, this moving back and forth. And so I have my pendulum here, and I'm just going to tune in. So I invite you to tune in some way to just feel your oscillation of your breath. If you've ever worked with a crystal pendulum, I'm asking my pendulum to show me yes. I'm stopping my pendulum as it finds its way to equilibrium. And then I'm asking my pendulum to show me no. So find within yourself, what does it feel like for you in your body when something is a yes? Yes, this is what I want. What does that feel like for you? If you're working with a little crystal pendulum, you may find that when you ask to show me yes, there's a definite movement, that you can decipher in that pendulum. Mine is a counterclockwise motion for yes. And then notice in your body what it feels like when something is a no for you. What is no feel like, look like? How does your body respond to a no? What does no look like for you? How does your body and your thoughts respond when something is no? So I just welcome you to think about that, work with that. We're going to start with a little pendulum meditation in a few more minutes once we hit our start time here. So I just invite you for this time to explore for yourself, that idea of a pendulum, maybe even closing your eyes and finding an image of a pendulum, of that movement from one side to the other side, from finding the place in the middle, that equilibrium balance point. And just in the mind's eye, what does it look like, feel like as we skirt to one side? Maybe that's a yes side. Maybe that's something that we're really drawn towards. What does that feel like and respond in our body like? And when something is a no, and our body and our mind are sending us that message that, no, I don't want that, not right now, what does that feel like? What does that look like? What messages come to mind? How does the body respond? And then coming back to our center, that place in between, this like maybe yes, maybe no, but maybe right here, right now. Perhaps as you work with this idea of a pendulum, you may be oscillating between things in the past and things in the future. And so kind of allow yourself a few breaths here of thinking about where we go in the past in our mind, what that might show up like in the body, in the mind. And then what does it feel like for us when we reach too far forward into the future? How does that feel? How does that show up in the body and in the mind? And then how does it feel to come back to center? So find yourself into a comfortable seat. Your center, your present moment, right here, right now. So we're not oscillating in this moment, or attempt is to not oscillate in the moment from the past or the future. We're working to be in this present moment. So whether you think of that image of our pendulum, if we think of the body and the mind's response to extremes, I invite you to just come to present. Perhaps that's with a hand on the heart and on the belly. And find for you this present moment breath. How does it feel to be in your body right here, right now? And then I invite you to bring your hands to your knees. Palms can be down or up, whichever you choose. And we're going to work with a meditation of a pendulum meditation. This is going to take us to sensations in the body that are on those different spectrums. So at first, we're going to find a sensation in the body of somewhere that the body feels really uncomfortable, a place where the sensation is not at ease. And then we'll spend a little bit of breath there. And then we'll take our awareness to a place that's pretty neutral in us, our earlobe. So either earlobe you can imagine and think of. And we're going to oscillate back and forth for just a few rounds here between a place of discomfort and a place of neutrality, like our earlobe. So begin to scan your body now to find a place of discomfort. Let your mind feel how this body part is not at ease. Maybe there's a little shift you can make to feel it maybe a little more at ease. And take another breath, tuning in to that part of your body that may be talking to you, maybe saying, yes, here I am, or no, don't pay attention to me. And then take your awareness to your earlobe, either earlobe. Be aware of your earlobe and let yourself breathe with the focus on something that maybe is pretty neutral. That isn't a yes or a no. Another breath here. And then I invite you to take your awareness back to that body part, that place in the body where the sensation was not so comfortable, where it was talking to you. And just for 2 more breaths, become aware of the sensations in this body part. And then take your awareness back to your earlobe, either the same or the other earlobe, and just become aware of the earlobe. One more breath here. And then one final time, take your awareness to the body part that had that really loud sensation. Notice where it's dialed into now. Be aware of the body part that's giving you that sensation that is the loudest for you today. Notice if that sensation is the same as the first time or the second time. Breathe into that place for a third time for 2 more breaths. And then take your awareness back to your earlobe, travel back to the earlobe, and be aware of the sensation or lack thereof in your earlobe. And then when you are ready, begin to open your eyes, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and then come onto your back with your knees hugged in, creating like a pendulum, or a pendant, sorry. So hug the knees in. And this hug in the knees can be a really tight hug, a little small ball here, or maybe it's expansive and the knees are away from the chest. Just kind of play with that, maybe hugging in the knees a little bit more, making some more space. And then with your hands out to a T, taking the knees over to the right, and then coming back to center. So we're not lowering the knees all the way down, just shift them a little bit from side to side, keeping the palms down and arms straight out from the shoulders. And just begin to let the knees swing from side to side, a gentle twist here. And then start to tune into the breath. As you come back to center, notice yourself breathe. And before you find, or after you find your next inhalation, let the knees drop to the right on the inhale. And exhale them back to center. Inhale, find the inhale, and then knees to one side. And then feel the exhale, the knees draw back into center. One more time, each side. Inhalation, let the knees go to one side slightly. Exhale, navel to spine, knees back to center. And then other side. Inhalation, knees move to side. Exhalation, knees back to center. Coming into equilibrium again here, bring yourself into a little hug. And then decide how it feels to extend the legs long or keep a slight bend to the knees. And we're going to find this pendulum swing one more time with the option of straightening the legs completely or maybe halfway, or perhaps for you, you're going back to full bent knees here. So find what's right for you, and then find the inhale, and then let the legs shift on the inhale to one side. Exhale, draw them back to center. Inhale to the other direction. Exhale to center. Finding that one more time, each side, allow your palms to be down and helping you ground. And then when you come back to your balance point, your equilibrium, back to center, go ahead and give yourself a hug. Knees hug in again. And then we're just going to pause here, letting your knees shift to the right. Hands out to that T, palms down, and then gaze to the left. Take a moment here as we've started to engage the core. Give yourself a little stretch all along the side body, the intercostal muscles. Both knees can remain bent here for 2 more breaths, or begin to straighten the top leg out to the side. And if you have a block handy, you can always place the foot onto the block so that the foot isn't coming all the way down to the ground and overextending the low back. And as you find this stretch here, and we pause and hold, feel what that feels like from going from movement to stillness. And then we'll find this on the other side. So take your time to come back to neutral. And then shifting the knees to the left. Keeping both knees bent. Then block can be under the knees. Or begin to straighten the top leg, finding a block under the foot. And breathe into this whole side body, into the side of the hip. You might even be feeling if the legs extended down the IT band. Feeling it all radiating up into the shoulder and out to the fingertips. Find one more breath and length on the inhale. And then on your exhale, bring your knees back to center, and then find yourself rolled into a ball, and then you decide. You either can roll to one side and come to a seat, or you can roll along your spine, head to toe, giving yourself a little rock a few times before maybe, just maybe, coming to your seat. Find both blocks. Find those blocks alongside so that you're at a medium height with the blocks. And then begin to extend your right arm a little bit further onto the block, onto the earth. And then take an inhale and lengthen up the left arm. Reach it up and across so that the bicep is along the ear and the fingers are together and along, right from the extension from the shoulder to fingertips. Take a gaze down to your left knee. And then inhale, come back up with both arms, and we'll extend that to the other side. So let the left arm come down onto a block, the right hand alongside the ear to the biceps. Fingertips come together. And we're rooting down in towards into the earth with the right hip. Finding an extension here. Maybe the same sensation as what we were just on our back, but feel it different here. And then inhale, come back up. And then I invite you to bring your hands to your heart, palms together. Find a length of the spine. Come into a place of just noticing sensations again in the body. Notice where we've been. Notice if you're thinking about where are we going in our practice and leaning into the future. See if you can stay right in the center in this moment. If you've got an intention for your practice, Sankalpa, I invite you to repeat that to yourself 3 times now. And then walk those blocks into the side of the body. With the legs cross ever which way they are. Just begin to press into your blocks and lift the body. Keep the feet on the earth, but see what you can lift. Pressing in, rise up with the arms strong, and then exhale, lower down. 2 more times. Press into the blocks, lift what you can lift off the earth, and then lower. And then using your blocks for support, we're going to come to a stand. So allow yourself to stand up. Feel yourself tall. Feel your spine long. And then on an inhale, allow both arms to extend upwards. Keep the shoulders soft. And find 2 more breaths here in Tadasana, mountain pose, letting the hands be extended up overhead if possible, or you can bring them by your side. Soft knees, soft jaw, core engaged, length of the spine. And then exhale your hands back down. We're going to find a little bit of movement, a little bit of rise into the toes. So again, feeling that pendulum, I want you to think about coming to that midpoint however you can. So as we move, find for you what amount of movement is right for you. So as you inhale, come to the tips of your toes, reach your arms up overhead. Take a moment to find a drishti, a point to gaze at. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And then exhale, hands come back down. This time we inhale, reach up, come to the tips of your toes, and then any amount arch over to one side, seeing if you can stay on the tips of your toes. Inhale, come back to center, tap those heels back down, arms come back down. Take a moment to reset here. And then next inhale, sweep the arms up, come to the tips of the toes. And then finding the exhale, arch over to the other side, staying on the tips of the toes if you're able. Coming back up to center, allow the hands and the heels to float back down. Allow now for yourself to find the left, we'll start with the right foot forward, left foot back, and we're going to find a warrior 1 stance. So in warrior 1, our right heel, our left heel will be down and coming into like a 45-degree angle with your toes. And starting here with a bent knee. Bring your hands, palms together with fingertips facing down to the middle of your front edge of your mat. Find your breath here, find length. And then notice the inhale to help you bring that awareness to opening your palms, straightening your front leg. Exhale, bend into the knee, bring the palms together. We'll find that 2 more. Inhale, open up, straighten the front leg, expand the arms. Exhale, bend into the knee, palms together. One more time, move with your breath. Let the breath help be the leader of this motion here as opposed to the motion leading the breath. Beautiful. As we come back down to the bent knee and the hands together, this time I want you to inhale and open up the arms and then exhale, fold forward. Maybe hands come to the block. And then inhale, bend the knee, open up the hands. Exhale, straighten the legs. Hands come down towards the blocks. We'll find that again. So allowing the knee to bend, inhale, open the arms. Exhale, straighten the legs, hands come down to blocks. And then just pause here. Perhaps you want to stay here for one breath. Maybe it's 10. Maybe this is where your pendulum says, yes, I am found my way into ease. Together, let's find one more breath. And then bend into that front knee, come back up. And then step together, mountain pose. And just take a moment here to feel what we've done, feel the effects. This is an asymmetrical pose that we just did. Coming back now to a symmetrical pose. But maybe the residual effect is there and the body may feel kind of asymmetrical even as you're in Tadasana. And then when you're ready, we're going to find that on the second side. So left leg comes forward, put a bend in that knee. Find your strong warrior stance so that your hips are facing the front corners of your mat. The shoulders are stacked right over the hips and the heart is shining right above all of it. Feel the head lift. Find now that arms open. And then lengthen the front leg. Hands come back in. Find a slightly different movement here on the second side. As we inhale, open the arms, bend the knee. As we exhale, straighten the leg, palms come together. Inhale, bend into the knee, open the hands. Exhale, straighten the leg, palms together. Inhale, open the hands, bend the knees, and this time as you exhale, straighten the leg, fold over the front straight leg, find hands to block. Inhale, bend the knee, open the hands up, rise up. And then exhale, straighten the front leg, hands come down to blocks. Find that again. Inhale, draw yourself up. Open the hands, open the heart. And then exhale, straighten the front leg, hands come down the blocks. And then pausing here, again, find yourself at ease here. Feel some way to find this be the place that your body says yes. Perhaps the blocks come up a little higher. Perhaps you're shortening your stance. Any amount. See where you can find your yes spot here in this pendulum. Finding one more breath here. Notice if you can let the jaw go, the shoulder relax, the head dangle slightly. And then as you start to begin to think about moving, find the inhale, find the core engagement, and come on up to your warrior one, and then back to your mountain. And again, as we come to Tadasana, feel yourself firm on the earth. Feel your heels drawing right down from your hips. Feel your shoulders and your heart stacked right in the middle, that balance point. Feel the head, ears right over the shoulder. And then choosing a spot to look at, our drishti, inhale, open up the arms overhead, come to the tips of your toes, and then begin to bend your knees and start to fold forward over your legs. We're going to find a halfway lift little movement here. So you can find your blocks, find a little bend in your knees, and then begin to just bow forward. And then inhale, rise up halfway. Hands can come to the blocks. They can be to the legs. Find a flat, long back from the tips of your tailbone to the crown of your head. And then exhale, fold it down. We'll find that 2 more times. Maybe as you come up halfway, you have a really generous bend to your knees. Perhaps then as you exhale and bow, you straighten the legs. And find that 1 more time. Inhale up halfway. And then exhale and bow. This time as you inhale, rise up all the way. And coming back to mountain, pause here, feel yourself firm on the earth, and then begin to walk your legs wide onto your mat. So we're going to find dolasana, a pendulum pose here. And as we do this, I want you to find what is right for you. So we're working with finding our balance point, the point in which we feel strong and stable right in the middle, in the present. Rooting through the soles of our feet, connecting with our core. So finding this core strength and our willpower. Feel now your hands interlaced behind the back of your head. And draw the shoulders, or the shoulders open with the elbows wide. Take a length with the breath here. So let the breath, that inhale, help lengthen your spine a little bit more. And then as you exhale, softly bow down now with the wide legs. And then let yourself dangle any amount here. Hug the belly in towards the spine. So hollowing out as much bend of your knees that you want. Find that here. Let the crown of the head sink down. And then we're going to start to flow. So flow over to your left. And then back to center. Let your head shift over to the right. And back to center. And notice for you, what do you need to feel a little more at ease in this? Maybe as you come to the left knee bends a little. And as you come back to center, both legs straighten. As you shift to the right knee bends a little. Back to center. Find this movement. As you exhale, let the head come to one side. Inhale back to center. And then shift to the other side. As you come back to center this time, let your hands rest onto the earth or onto those blocks. And then come up halfway. Exhale and fold in. Find that 2 more times for yourself. And then bend your knees even more. Allow the hands to come to the hips. Engage through the belly, root down through your feet, and rise up. Ooh, inhale, sweep the arms up. And then either walk or jump the feet together back to Tadasana. Feel length, and then allow the hands to come back down. Beautiful job. So we'll find, again, our Tadasana, our focal point. And then inhale, sweep the arms up, maybe come to the tips of the toes. As you exhale, arch over to the left. Core engaged. Inhale, come back to center. And then over to the right. And inhaling back to center and then back down to Tadasana, mountain pose. Firm here. This time I want you to come to the tips of your toes on an inhale. The hands can come up overhead or they can stay at the heart. And then bend into your knees and find yourself coming into a seat. Crackle and pops in the knees and the ankles, however that works. And as you come to the seat, I'm going to invite you to bend your knees and have a seat with the tops of your toes down onto the earth and coming into a seat. If this doesn't feel right for you, then I want you to find perhaps here with a block in the middle. If you've got 3 blocks, then that will feel really nice to keep one in the middle and one on each side. But certainly, we want you to find a place that supports you with what you've got. If this is not available to you, you can find a cross-legged seat. And then just coming to a moment of transition here, feel yourself with any sensations in your body. Feel your core connection and your strength. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, one hand down to the side, opening up the side body. And then begin to roll your top hand forward, sweep it forward and across the body. Come to the other side. Hand down onto the block or to the earth, top hand overhead. And then again, sweep it forward and around. And then we'll move a little quicker. So allow the top hand to draw around to the block on the other side. Top hand swings up. And then one more time, sweep it around. And then to your final sweep forward and drawing the top arm up. And then coming back to center here, bring your blocks closer into you. I'm going to turn slightly here so you can see the side angle, so that what we're going to do is bring the hands to the middle blocks, hands underneath the shoulders, and then any amount pressed in through the blocks. Lift the knees, let the tops of the toes stay down, and then lower down. So we're finding here lolasana. So begin to bring the knees up, hug the navel in towards the spine, and then lower the knees back down. We'll find this, press into the block and lift just 2 more times. So inhale, knees up, exhale, lower down. And then as you begin to play with this, perhaps you will feel that you want to lift one foot off the ground, or maybe both feet off the ground. You can think about coming to this posture to play, to explore the sensation of a pendulum. If both knees are off and you're allowing yourself to swing forward and back, then come back to your seat, come back to center. As we come back to some stillness, maybe sitting in this posture feels right for you, or maybe coming onto your back and laying long on your back would feel right. Take some time to set up for yourself for some stillness here, for a few rounds of breath. Whether you are laying on your back or you've remained in a seated posture, I invite you to scan your body for the places in your body that feel strong, that feel that they got invigorated and some oxygen to them this morning in this short practice. Notice where your body is saying, yes, I am ready for this day. Couple more breaths, being in that place. The body feels just right in this moment. And then come back to that earlobe. Maybe it's the same earlobe or the other. Just bring your awareness to the earlobe. Notice sensations or lack of in the earlobe, but your ability to bring your awareness to this part of your body. I invite you to stay wherever you are, feeling your present moment awareness. Notice that as the pendulum can swing to one side or to the other, it can come back and find the weight into the present moment, into the here and the now. So wherever life takes us, wherever circumstances around us take us in one direction and the other, maybe those directions are places we want to be or not, where can we come back to ourselves, to our center, to this moment, to be here now? I wish you all a blessed day, a day filled with many mindful moments, just noticing where you are, whether that's in a moment of saying yes or saying no. Honor yourself in this moment. Thank you so much for sharing your practice, being present with yourself so you can be present with others. Namaste.